Would it be harsh of me to call The Lost Boys the hot topic of the vampire subgenre? Probably so. But okay, you know, I'll give it a little bit more leeway, a little bit more respect. Throw what's the joint called? Throw Spencer's in there. Yeah, The Lost Boys is a middle ground between Hot Topic and Spencer's. You know, like what if Peter Pan was goth, gay, and in a biker gang, right? The Lost Boys is a 1987 comedy horror written by Jeffrey Boehm and directed by Joel Schumacher. Yes, Joel Schumacher, as in the man who directed St. Elmo's Fire, Batman and Robin, Batman Forever, and Phantom of the Opera. The film stars Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Kiefer Sutherland, Jamie Gertz, Edward Herman, Bernard Hughes, Jason Patric, and Diane West. After only filming for 21 days on an $8.5 million budget, the film grossed an impressive $32.5 million at the box office. This was requested the most in the comment section I saw of my little community post, and I was talking about, you know, what film should we revisit for July, and you know, you can bring out the pitchforks now. That's okay. I'm gonna say it. This movie is mid, very mid. Yes, I've seen it before, and was I dreading a little bit watching it again? Maybe so. But trust me, I will explain myself. Vibes, aesthetic, cast, performances, it's all there. The third act just falls flat for me. You know, bite me, or actually don't do that, because I don't want the lifestyle. I just like the outfits. That's all. So grab your leather jackets and trenches, black only, cause we're sad, we're a little fruity, and we like to suck blood. And if you think you've got what it takes to hang with the Lost Boys, then join me for a little bike ride through the clouds of Santa Carla. I'm getting flashbacks to I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is a film I just covered. Check it out. Because we open on this film sweeping across water. Oh, wait, hold on. This came out way before. I don't care. I'm still having flashbacks. We find ourselves at a carnival and by a carousel, seeing vampire leader David. His posse is right behind him. Dwayne, Paul, and Marco. David's already on strike one because he goes up to a random woman and then like touches her face. What? Okay. The girl's man jumps and everybody start getting touchy, but a cop uses his baton and restrains these little emos, reminding them how he told them to stay off of the boardwalk. After hours, everything's shut down and the same pig is walking alone in the parking lot. And you can already tell something is about to happen because we fly in this overhead POV, hearing the laughter of the emo boys. And next thing you know, Big Boy is screaming. As soon as Joe touches his car, him and his door get yanked away into the night. The next morning, yet again, sweeping across the fucking water. Get used to this, by the way. We meet our family protagonists, Sam, Michael, and Lucy, who are driving into their new home, a fictional version of Santa Clarita called Santa Carla. It's a fun little place. You know, on the back of the town's billboard, someone sprayed murder capital of the world. And Mikey is like, Even though it's broad daylight, people are wearing black hoodies. I know it's swampy up in there. Come on now. There are a lot of individuals with faded dyed hair, piercings, shaved heads, cigarettes. Michael asks a random man if there are any jobs around.
Nothing legal.
The film is doing a spectacular job at just setting the scene. Like, you know, even though I may have called this mid, but like I said, that aesthetic is, that style, it's A1. There's a lot of different types of people, different colors, different ages we see on the boardwalk. There are also swords and swords of posters of missing children. See, they have everything. It's like low-key overstimulating how much there is to look at. I had to keep pausing it just to get like a little glimpse of everything. The Emerson family arrived to their new home. Michael is looking around like, this is different. There's bones of animals hung up in these cultural native pieces, clotheslines. Y'all don't have washing machines? Oof. Oh, and I didn't even introduce the fourth member in the car. Sam's got a husky named Nanook. He's so cute. But don't they say that huskies should be in cold weather? Side eye. The house belongs to the boy's grandfather, who is laying on his porch playing dead. I don't think at your big old age you should be playing with God like that, but you know, go off.
This is a pretty cool place.
Here for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Wait, I like him. I think I'm gonna latch on to Sam. He's me, for real. Sam's next line is such an 80s thing to say. He points out how their grandfather doesn't have a TV, and if there's no TV, then that means that there's no MTV, which was, you know, this was the late 80s. This was the height. And hey, I ain't mad at him. Michael starts lifting weights because the juice head never stops pumping, grrr, and reminds his little bro that their family is broke. He can live without MTV. Look at Nanook chasing the horses. Boy, if you don't leave them damn horses alone,
Get your ass back.
hold on, y'all. I'll be back. Grandpa tells Lucy she's the only woman he's ever known who didn't improve her situation by getting divorced. Like, wow, Dad, thanks. So supportive. Mike starts chasing Sam, who, while running through the house, opens the door to a room with this big table topped with animal heads. What the hell is going on?
Talk about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That was such a subtle move, but like, I have to point it out. You know, these brothers, like I just told you that they were chasing each other, but it's, you know, obviously it's playful. And I'll talk a little bit more about it when I get into my take, but I think that that is probably one of my favorite and one of the strongest aspects about this movie. But I'm pointing out this little subtle move of Sam leaning into his brother's shoulder and how he doesn't flinch, he doesn't move, he doesn't push him away, you know, get off of me, call him the F slur or nothing. Like, they are just very comfortable around each other. It's very healthy. That is so refreshing to see in a film. After Pop shows the boys his shelf in the fridge that's off limits and walks away, Michael grabs Sam's attention, pointing at a plant above the sink. So it looks like Pop likes the Mary J. Blige. It's gonna be a fun summer, I can feel it. Mikey asks Pop if it's true that Santa Carla is the murder capital of the world, and Sam is about to have a bitch fit. So Grandpa's like, okay, let me put it this way. If all the corpses in the ground rose all at once and stood up, then we would have one hell of a population problem. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Once again, we are sweeping across the fucking water, so at this point, you know, it's gotta have some meaning. Every floating shot is supposed to be a POV of the emo boys flying, which we never actually really see them do this entire movie. Musclehead Tim Capello is switching his hips and sucking on his saxophone, getting the crowd hype, while Michael's eyes are lasering on a brunette with long curls. This is Star, who's entertaining his looks and glancing herself. She must have put some little spell on him, because as soon as she walks away, Michael follows her. Lucy's walking around the boardwalk, passing a wall full of missing people, and a woman is putting up a new one with the cop that we saw the emo boys yank only a few nights ago. A help wanted sign catches her attention, as well as a lost little boy. Get it? Lost boy. She brings the boy in the video store, and we meet Max, who's been checking Mama out. The emo boys come in the shop, and Max's dog Thorn starts growling. Buddy said, I can feel the satanic energy. The kid's mother comes in the store on time to collect her lost boy, and oh my god, is that Kelly Jo Minter from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, Popcorn and the People Under the Stairs, which I've also done a video on. Check it out. Apparently she had a few scenes, if not maybe just this one, but they deleted it. Why? That's my girl. Max eyeballs the emo kids, reminding them he told them not to come in anymore. Are y'all like banned everywhere? What y'all be doing? Well, we know the answer to that, but Max introduces himself and Thorn to Lucy and starts chatting her up. He's the owner of this videotape store, the best in Santa Carla. But Mama ain't looking for a tape, she looking for a job. Independent woman. Michael is still following Star, and Sam is right on his tail, holding his brother's hand like, where the fuck are we going? But Michael softly tells him to beat it, which is fine by Sammy because he sees a comic book store. I really do not like this little lightweight trench cover he's got on. It's ugly, but you know, anyway, there are more posters of missing children. Jesus Christ, how many are gone? And we meet two brothers, Edgar and Alan Frog. Not the Edgar Allan Poe reference. These Frog brothers are staring down Sam because of his civilian wardrobe. Sam is like, yeah, this shit is hot, right?
For a fashion victim.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry I'm not dressed like I just came back from Vietnam. Fuck off. Edgar tells Sam if he's looking for the diet frozen yogurt bar, it went out of business last summer.
What do you mean by that?
Are we profiling this kid? This feels like homophobia. This feels like homophobia. Sam barks back though, schooling them on comic heroes and what issues they have lying in front of each other. You know, put this in front, that ain't shit, that ain't, yeah. So Edgar goes to grab a comic and hands it to Sam, telling him to read. It's called Vampires Everywhere. Sammy don't like horror comics though. Not today, Satan. But Edgar tells the Phoenix boy it could save his life. Right after this, a group of dudes snatch some comics by the entrance and the frogs start getting froggy and run after them. Sam, you better take that comic and leave. That was free, okay? He gave that to you. As expected, Star is dating the head of the emo gang. They all get up on their motorcycles, and I didn't introduce the child who is always with her, but his name is Laddie. Michael and Sam catch Star on the back of David's bike, and Sam is like, LOL, see, that's exactly what you get. You need to leave that alone. Deep in the hills, a couple are just minding their business. The man is trying to get some cootie cat, but all his woman is worried about is laughing at her comics, when suddenly, the roof is yanked off and the boyfriend is yanked into the night. Chica starts screaming, and in a matter of seconds goes too. The next day, Grandpa shows Sam his car, or his baby as he calls it.
Okay, let's go to town. Yeah, we having fun or what?
So we were going to town.
That's as close to town as I like to get.
Yeah, me and him wouldn't have gotten along because you just playing. Sam goes back to the comic shop where the frogs start talking about them being fighters for the truth. You know, they claim their comic book job is their cover and they're dedicated to a higher purpose.
Right.
Corey Feldman and his forced deep voice is really pissing me out. And the eye squints like, nephew, I cannot take you seriously. It's part of it literally plays into the character like itself, but I'm like, how? The brothers are so corny, but it's on purpose. Anyway, Edgar gives Corey another comic titled Destroy All Vampires, and this is Sam's survival manual. And on the back are the brothers' numbers. Michael's really willing to do whatever to get this girl Star because he buys a black leather jacket off the boardwalk. Wanna be me so bad. Then he walks up to a piercing stand, but Star swoops up behind him, whispering, it's a ripoff. She tells Mikey if he wants his ear pierced, then she'll do it. The emo boys are having a cigarette, watching everything. Mike hops on his bike, asking Star if she wants to go get something to eat, and in the blink of an eye, they are all there to cockblock. David makes Star get on his bike with just a look, then indirectly asks Michael if he wants to ride. Now, Mike thinks that he's, alluding to having a race, and he's like, bro, I can't beat your bike. But little Davey assures,
You don't have to beat me, Michael. You just have to try and keep up.
the boys ride their bikes off the boardwalk, and at first Michael hesitates, but he's kind of already in it, and you can tell he just wants to be part of something. They're riding through the beach with this upbeat 80s banger playing, going into the woods, and for a second it looks like they're just driving through the clouds. But oh shit, we see they're heading to the edge of a cliff. Michael's speeding up, but he brakes and whips that motherfucker. Although Mikey, might be a people pleaser, he ain't no bitch. Don't get the game fucked up.
What the hell are you doing, huh? No! Just you! Come on, just you!
He said, nah, me and you gonna box. See, I like him. I like how you get down, Mike. I like how you get down. Ain't no rapping, ain't no bike riding, no games, no nothing. Yeah, he said you just gonna catch some of this handwork.
How far are you willing to go, Michael?
Can you, stop being gay? We go to the emo headquarters somewhere in one of these cliffs. I'm seeing surfboards, tool shelf, old bike pieces, flies. It's alright. No, it's cute. Alright. David tells Michael he'll like it here. And before dinner, David's like, here, have this little appetizer. It's a damn cigarette. Sam's doing his homework as he should, reading Vampires Everywhere. And Lucy comes in telling him to take his ass to bed. But before she leaves, he softly requests she close his closet. So his dislike for horror isn't necessarily taste, but fear. Oh my god, Sam's got a large poster of Molly Ringwald and 16 Candles. I know that off-the-shoulder shirt and hairstyle style anywhere. And that's another film I've covered on my channel, 16 Candles. Check it out. Grandpa brings Sam a taxidermied beaver as a gift.
How do you like that, huh?
Thanks, Grandpa.
And when him and Lucy leave, Sam does exactly what we would all do and put it in the closet. And I think that... what's that? You ain't think I would catch this little poster, huh? Why you got this little risque picture of Rob Lowe on your closet? It's the little things. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. I wasn't going to take any guesses or assumptions too fast, but like, I mean, damn, I should have known by his outfits. There is something very, zesty about Samuel. It's dinner time in the emo lair, and the category is Chinese food. David persuades Mike to eat rice, and after he takes a bite, it's turned into maggots. And after he drops it on the ground, it's rice again. Either David got some strong powers or he put something in that damn appetizer. David fake apologizes, shows him a box of noodles, which are worms at first glance, but return back to lo mein. Stars telling David to chill out, and David whispers in his boy toy Marco's ear, who grabs an ancient bottle. David takes a sip, has to collect himself for a second, then says,
Drink some of this, Michael. Be one of us.
No. All the emo boys chant his name in a low tone, and Star tells him he doesn't have to drink it if he doesn't want to. Listen to the woman in the rum. She literally tells this boy that it's blood, and he's like, ah ha ha, shut up, woman, and swigs it. He takes a few more, and Mike is officially emo now. They ride Michael out to a bridge with a bunch of moody, mysterious fog, and he wants to know what's going on, but it's a surprise. Call me dramatic, it can't just be me, but I'm like, why is David constantly calling for Marco? Every time he needs him, he's calling his name. Since we got stepped on this damn bridge, he has said the boy's name like 3 times. Like, is Marco your little side piece or something? Marco says bye to everybody and drops off the bridge. Then Paul, then Dwayne, and finally, David tells Michael to follow before jumping. They didn't actually drop though, they're just hanging under the bridge by the bars. The track starts violently shaking because a train is coming. They set this boy up.
Michael, you're one of us! Let go!
Michael's alone, holding on for his life, and lasts after the train passes. And it's not until his fingers give up on him that he falls. We crossfade as Michael screams, turns silent, and he's just floating. He falls onto his bed with his dirty shoes and clothes on. Foot all up on a pillow. See, now you need to wash everything. Sam busts in his room, opening the blinds with their mom on the telly. Mind you, it's 2 p.m. now. Michael asks Sam to give him his sunglasses. Then Lucy tells Mike to stay home and babysit Sam because she's having dinner with her boss after work. Not Lucy trying to guac the boss. And also, why does he need to babysit Sam? Sam is not 5 years old. The boy is like, what, 13, 14? Even Grandpa has a date. Up in here using Windex as aftershave. What the hell? Sam starts analyzing his brother like, what's going on with this little earring? This ain't you. But Mickey Mike says piss off. He's in his Billy Idol era. In the midnight hour, babe, she wants more. I love the Rebel Yell album.
No, all you do is give attitude lately. You watching too much Dynasty, bud?
That feels like a gay joke. Don't quote me on that. The wind starts violently blowing around the house and we can hear motorcycles outside. David calls Michael's name. Sam's begging him not to open the door, but he does, and nothing's there. Michael orders Sam to go take his bath and then goes in the fridge for some milk till he starts having sharp pains in his stomach. Not shortly after, Samuel's in the bubble bath just trying to enjoy his 1950s rock tunes when Michael starts creeping up the stairs all sweaty and out of it. Approaching his door, and Nanook can feel his demonic half-vampire energy lurking. Michael swings open the door just as Sam goes underwater to rinse the soap off, and Nanook jumps on Mike like white on rice. When Sam goes downstairs, he finds his brother on the ground with his hand gushing from a bite from Nanook. So he's going off like, what the hell did you do to my dog, you asshole? He glances behind Mike and they both notice that Michael's reflection is fading. Michael is a creature of the night, just like the comic book.
You're a vampire, Michael. My own brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy.
God damn it, that's a great line. That's probably my favorite in the entire movie. Sam runs to his room, locks the bed and bath door, then dials for the Frog Brothers. I love this little shot in his room. The angle of the lighting, the color, the robe, how Nanook is snuggled right beside him. Edgar tells Sam to get a sharp stake and drive it through Michael's heart.
I can't do that. He's my brother.
Okay, we'll come over and do it for you.
No.
Michael's in his bed just trying to sleep, but his body suddenly starts levitating and lands on the ceiling. Homie is reaching for his drapes, but he just ends up ripping everything off the dresser, looking like Dorothy about to be swept into that tornado. Poor baby. Lucy calls Sam, and at one point both brothers are on the phone. Michael's still trying to hold on for his life and is begging Sam to open the window, and all Sam's doing is screaming that Mike's trying to kill him over the phone. So Lucy ditches her date to see what's going on. Michael's still screaming at him to open the window, and this kid is making finger crosses, like, please.
I'm your brother, Sammy. Help me! Sammy, open up! Please.
My heart. Sam lets him in, and Mike starts saying that they have to stick together. When Lucy gets back to the house, Sam says that he was reading a comic that freaked him out and he thought he saw somebody out the window. Lucy's inner black mother is coming out because she has had it. Milk laid out on the floor, you didn't bother to clean it up. You got my fucking fridge wide open. What are you trying to do? Cool the whole goddamn neighborhood? And when she sits the carton on the counter, we see a missing child print of Laddie. Sam sleeps in his mom's room that night, and she asks if he's been eating pizza because he smells like garlic. Just as we see Sam open his robe with a neck of garlic around him. How can you put up with that smell? Michael goes to the emo lair, finding Star to get answers, but she says that she can't and doesn't know how to help him. Then they make out and make love. Okay. The movie's main theme, this "Thou shalt not fall." This is like the 4th time that it's played in the movie. Turn it off. But at least we're not sweeping across the water and get this really cool shot floating through the clouds. The emo boys are near, but nowhere in sight. After Michael wakes up, he takes off his hand bandage, noticing that Nanook's bite is fully healed. When he comes home, Lucy tries to get some answers out of her son and their relationship, assuming that a girl has something to do with this. And Mike's gotta let her know, I'm fine, Mom. My life does not revolve around girls. I have other things going on in my life. Right, like how a dude turned you out. Lucy stops by Max's house to give him something as an apology for bailing on him. And on theme, Sam opens a page in his comic with a dog creature named Hellhound. Thorne sees this human walking towards him and starts barking and sprinting, so Lucy is just screaming for Sam, drops her gift, and this freaking dog is biting and ripping off the gate. Oh my god, babe, it's time to leave Max alone. Sam tells the frogs about the Hellhound, and they keep circling back to Sam staking his brother. Bitch, I said I'm not killing my brother. Killing the head vampire will make all half vampires return to normal. Sam points out that like this whole situation started after Lucy started working at the video store, and how Max like never comes into work until it's nighttime before going on to read a passage about how vampires require a daytime protector, a guardian, to watch over them as they sleep. Fierce dogs, hellhounds. So since Sam's mommy is dating the head vampire, the frogs can nail him and save Santa Carla. Truth, justice, the American way, or whatever them little said. Michael is looking heroin chic, passing his brother's room in the hall, calling his name, and just getting a slammed door. So sad. The brotherhood has deteriorated. Lucy's in the kitchen throwing down for her papi chulo coming over and tells Mikey to get himself together. But MJ says, LOL, girl, fuck you, I'm going out. And right when he opens the door, Maximus is there with flowers in hand.
Well, you're the man of the house, and I'm not coming in until you invite me.
You're invited.
Thanks very much.
So, zero mystery, and you just confirm that he's the head vampire. Got it. Max apologizes to Lucy for Thorne acting up and leans in for a kiss. It's so awkward too, because when he leans in to kiss her, like she like flinches. I was like, ooh. Sam introduces Lucy to the Frog Brothers, his dinner guests. And sometime during the dinner, Lucy says somebody's got bad breath, which is one of the signs of a vampire. But it's just Nanook she's talking about, allegedly. Edgar nods at Sam to give Max the Parmesan cheese he made. Max pours it over his pasta, taking a bite, and then starts choking. Turns out it's not cheese, it's just straight garlic. I mean, How did you not smell that though? Max says he likes garlic. It's too much for him. They are so bad at this. Like, dude throws his drink in Max's lap because the garlic also got down there, and Lucy is about to cuss up a storm. Edgar is tight as hell, so it's time for their last test. They shut out the lights and realize that Max isn't glowing. And when they turn the lights back on, Sam's holding up a mirror to him, but his reflection is there.
I think I know what's going on around here tonight. I know what you're thinking, Sam, but you're wrong. I'm not trying to replace your father.
You know what they're trying to do. Cut the shit. Lucy and Max decide to give their failing dates one final third round. Dinner at Max's tomorrow night. Michael finds the emo boys asking David where Star is, and David says if he ever wants to see her again, he better come with them. They ride off into the night by a bonfire, and you can kind of tell where this is going. David tells Mickey Mouse the initiation's over and it's time to join a club. They look kinda hot. All the boys fly away and start snacking, tossing the bodies into the blue flames when finished. Now Mike knows what they are. He'll never grow old, he'll never die, but he must feed. So what if I don't feed? Then I'm dead. Like, what is we talking about? Make it make sense. Sam's now got a closet full of animals because every morning Pop leaves one in his room. Like, why? That is so weird to me. Michael summons in his room and Sam says that he can help if Mike tells him who the head vampire is. Star begins screaming at the window for Mike, saying she needs to talk to him, and when she asks if she can come up, Mike says no and tells Sam to shut the window and lock his door. But then, like, Star just jumps into the window anyway. He said no, so how does she get in there? What are the rules of entering a house when you're a half vampire? Sam jumps on his bed thinking his blanket is gonna shield him as Mike and Star are having a whole back and forth soap opera. Michael Jackson is coming to terms that, yeah, it was actually blood in the bottle. Why would she joke about that? Look at them. You don't turn into a full vampire until your first kill, and Mike was supposed to be Star's first, but she didn't go through with it. And why didn't she go through with it? Because the power of love. Something like that. I don't know. She's saying she cares about him and it's not too late. But what you mean it's not too late? You said you don't know how to help me. You don't know anything. So we just lying now. Star asks Michael to help her and Laddie, and he like no. Which I would also do, because why when I come to you, you can't help me, but you come to me asking for help? No, because when I came to you, you ain't want to help me. All you wanted to do was give me some kitty meow meow. So Star vanishes in emotional distress, and Sam yells out the window, "Don't kill anybody until we get back to you!" The Frog Brothers come dressed down in camo looking ridic. Grandpa is setting up stake posts just as Mike, Sam, and the Frog snatch Graham's car and drive to the emo hideout. Mike's trying to persuade Sam not to go down there because he won't be strong enough to protect him.
Well, this time I'll protect you, bud.
I'm gonna cry, y'all. I'm gonna cry. As soon as the frogs get down there, they see Star sleeping, and Edgar's like, "There's one, let's stake her." Michael is like, "I wish the fuck you would." Sam goes with the frogs into this little trail they crawl through. Meanwhile, Mike carries Laddie out, then goes back to grab Star. The three boys are looking for the coffins, but ain't no coffins in here, homie.
Jesus!
These emo boys sleep on the ceiling. They are being so loud too. I thought to myself, I was like, how did they not wake up when Sam screams? Since they don't know who the head vampire is, the plan is to just kill them all.
Good night, bloodsucker.
No!
He must have a lot of strength to be able to drive that through flesh.
You did me!
Hi, James. Hi, Chelsea. The boys rush back to the light and Sam's in the back, so of course David grabs him. The frogs are trying to pull him into the light. Sam keeps making his stupid finger crosses, and after David's hand gets burned by the light, poor baby lets out a teardrop before saying, "Tonight." And you know he is extra tight because the vampire that they staked was his boo-boo, Marco. The boys run out the lair and Sam yells for Mike to start the car, but this joker is passed out in the back seat.
We blew it, man. We lost it.
Shut up!
We unraveled in the face of the enemy.
It's not our fault. They pulled the mind scramble on us. They opened their eyes and talked.
Pathetic. Nanook is barking like, "I don't know what y'all just brought up in my house, but you need to get them out of here." So since plan A didn't work, we have to move to plan B, which is, we don't know, but we have 2.5 hours to figure it out. Sam goes to the video store to tell Lucy the town's crawling with vampires and she needs to get someone to help them. Of course, she does not believe him and thinks that he's just trying to sabotage her date again, so looks like the boys are on their own. They crash into a church during a child christening and plunge their dirty water bottles into fresh holy water. Sam lets his grandpa know the widow he's been seeing called for a date to pick her up at 7 instead of 8. And my thing is, you know, your grandfather alluded to knowing stuff about the town, so why would he not even attempt? I mean, you ran up to your mother saying there were vampires, so like your grandfather lives there. Like, why would you not ask him for help? I don't know. I would have went to him first before the mother. Anyway, when he leaves, all the boys start blocking off every entrance. They fill the bathtub up and top it off with holy water. When the emo boys wake up, they fly across the water. I'm trying not to get pissed off. During Lucy and Max's dinner, Thorn starts barking. And you know who else is barking? Nanook. Oh my God, they left him outside. No. So Sam is like, hell no. Takes off, booking, struggling to get him loose. Michael runs behind him because he's not going to let his baby brother get swept away. Of course, the Joker trips halfway, running back to the door because we can't create tension without somebody tripping from danger. But they make it back inside. And even though I'm sitting here again, like, I thought bitches had to be invited in because Dwayne blasts inside the house through the fireplace. And where are the water guns at? See, y'all not prepared. The frogs run upstairs with Star and Laddie, and Edgar's like, I say we terminate them now. Star yells for Laddie to run, but the frogs run into Paul, who swiftly smacks the water gun and the stake out of their hands. I mean, wow. Paul backs the boys into the bathroom, giggling when he sees the tub because garlic doesn't work. But try holy water, death breath.
Damn!
Right when Paul's about to attack, Nanook to the rescue. He jumps on that blood sucker, knocking him straight into the tub, and Paul starts tweaking, skin deteriorating until he's only left a skelly. Blood starts shooting out the double sinks and drains. What in the Pennywise? I hope Grandpa got insurance. I know he do. He probably, yeah, he got it. Mike is knocked out from Dwayne's kick, and Sam is now by himself until Dwayne yanks him up into the sky. Sam whips out his holy Jesus juice and sprays that demon in the eyes, getting free. Sammy grabs a bow and arrow and shoots, but Dwayne, he just playing dead. He missed.
You miss, sucker.
But I bet you he won't miss this time because Sam shoots Dwayne right in the chest and his body starts smoking by the stereo until he completely explodes. Holy water and holy shit.
Death by stereo.
The brothers stop on the steps, seeing how screwed the kitchen is. Blood is still spraying everywhere. Sam's like, come on, Mike, get your ass upstairs. Until David knocks Mike down the steps and disappears. The frogs tell Sam they trashed the vamp that looks like Twisted Sister, and Edgar's like, well, Nanook helped a little. Actually, Good Boy did all the damn work. In the corner of the room, Laddie is coming to form, and right before they try to attack him, Star jumps in between them, saying he's just a little boy. David keeps swiping Mike across the face and disappearing because he's a and Mike is saying, come down here and box. What's up? Are you scared to face me, David? It only takes one more hit to make Michael turn into Teen Wolf. Ooh, I mean, a vampire. And they leap at each other. Michael nearly smashes David's head into one of the deer heads on the wall, but he misses. And now that I'm thinking about it, Grandpa probably has all these bones and shit around his place to protect himself from vampires. But also, like, it's a very convenient place to fight or do something like this. Like, it's very resourceful.
Stop fighting me, Michael. I don't want to kill you. Join us.
And Mike says, never. Mike said, I'm no homo, bro. Just a little bi. But it's too late. Daddy David says, my blood is in your veins. And Mike says, so is mine. Before grabbing David and throwing him into his grandfather's favorite room where an antler goes through David's chest. Unlike his crew, David doesn't tweak out and silently goes to hell. Right, but I thought y'all was immortal. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone rushes downstairs and Michael tells Star to stand in front of him because he doesn't want his brother to see him like this. Just as Max and Lucy arrive at the house, Edgar asks what's the big deal, you know, you just killed the head vampire, but we know the deal, like, no you didn't, what's not clicking? The adults are trying to figure out what the hell has happened. Max goes into Grandpa's room and he sees David's body. Star and Michael are in the corner watching him. This is another one of my favorite shots. Max apologizes to Lucy because all of this is his fault and that David and his boys have misbehaved. And then he takes his glasses off. See, Lucy is like, what you talking about, boo? Meanwhile, Sam is like, I knew it. You're the head vampire. Star says he's the secret that David was protecting. And Max is just nodding his head like, you right, mama. You're right. You're right. It was Lucy he was after all along because he knew that if he could get Sam and Michael into the family, then there's no way she could say no. It would all be perfect, just like one big happy family.
I still want you, Lucy.
Lord, I'm having a heart attack. Damn, this is some scary shit.
This is so weak. Michael lunges at Max, but he tosses him like a rag doll to the second level. Star grabs a stick off the ground, lunging at him, but he just smacks her down. Like, y'all, okay. Sam runs at him. Max holds his hand out and tells Lucy not to fight it. Sam screaming, don't do it! But Lucy takes his hands just as we hear the La Cucaracha off-key horn from Grandpa, who smashes into his house with a bunch of wood on the front of his whip.
Bitches know they can't catch me.
And one of them strikes Max, sending him flying into the fireplace and exploding.
Yeah. They'll kick your ass, man.
We, once again, y'all didn't do shit. Mike is no longer vampirized. Laddie comes running downstairs and Star's like, oh my god, it's over.
How much you think we should charge him for this?
The trio family follow Grandpa into the kitchen where Lucy asks her father if he's okay, but he needs a drink because his house is wrecked. One thing about living in Santa Carla I never could stomach is all the damn vampires. And he closes the fridge as the faces of our family fade out. Something that can make or break a film for me personally is its final act. Not every film I love has some grandiose villain or big set piece, whatever, but if you're drumming up a build-up to the final boss, then I expect them to be not only interesting but difficult to beat, and neither of those apply here. The biggest plot point is figuring out who the head vampire is, and there is zero mystery. The answer is laid out for you when Sam sees the Hellhound in his comic as Lucy approaches Max's dog, Thorn. When Max reveals himself, there isn't much happening. He gets a few people leaping towards him and then he just, you know, loop, loop, tosses them to the side like ragdolls. Then bam! Granny slams through his crib with the stakes. Like there is no obstacle. And before rewatching this movie for this video, I could not tell you a damn thing about, like, I could barely remember what happened. Y'all like this movie because of the vibes and nostalgia. Like, that's okay. That's okay. It's just, that's not for me. Not for me. Nostalgia is one hell of a drug. The 80s hair, the MTV of it all, the sax, the fog machines, the aesthetic is doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. This was obviously made for young and happening, hip late teens, and you know what? Sure, it's a really accessible, colorful, on-theme summer movie, you know, to have on in the background.
Girl.
I find it interesting that Michael and Sam's father is not in the picture. Mom's mainly working, so that kind of opens the door for some emotional vacancy ripe for vampire grooming or something. And what I mean by that is how vampires offer brotherhood, freedom, protection, 3 attributes a father would give to their sons. And while Michael is targeted by David and his homies, Sam's pulled into the Frog Brothers shenanigans. Cannot stand those 2 boys, especially Feldman and that dumbass deep voice.
We're dedicated to a higher purpose. We're fighters for truth, justice, and the American way.
Boring.
Those clowns and their macho, masculine, wannabe comic book action hero act is so tired. Like, y'all are insecure and bored. Buffy would have did a better job than y'all. She would have got rid of them. She would have found out who the head vampire is in like 20 minutes. Now, let's talk about these damn emo punk glam bloodsuckers with their little leather bar, leather cave they got going on. Once again, Marco was David's side piece.
You just don't get it.
I don't make the rules here. Every fucking time David needed something, he was calling for Marco. Like, I'm not pulling this out my ass. I don't think that David is gay. I just think that there's something by afoot. You know, join us, Michael. Be one of us. Speaking of bi, Michael, why are you letting this bleach blonde built little boy turn you out?
Huh? Let's talk about that.
I read that apparently Michael's name is said 118 times, and I know for a fact that a strong 75% of that is from David and the boys whispering his name in the fog. Homos. If you don't see it, that's okay. It could just be me. I'm just telling y'all what I'm saying here. You know, I don't look for queer subtext. Queer subtext looks for me. Word. Vampires are inherently a little bit homoerotic. You know, imagine coming up to another dude and being like, hey man, I gotta bite your neck and suck the juice out of it so I can live. When have we ever seen a male vampire turn down sucking another dude? Oh, okay. You know what I meant. You can also look into it through the lens of the secret life that comes with being a vampire. You gotta be a creature of the night. On the down low. Wink, wink. We gotta stick together in our little male vampire sleeping hole. I love you, bro. Every night you gotta give me a kiss, bro. Good night, bro. Yeah. And why was David so pressed on making Michael part of the crew? You want me to tell you?
Yes.
Cause he wanted his booty hole. Like, duh. He thought Mike was cute, which he is, you know. And look, Mike, he let it happen, okay? And he poor baby just, he wanted to fit in. Oh, and Samuel, come, get down here, son. Get down here, nephew, front and center. We gonna talk about you for a second. You thought we didn't see that Rob Lowe poster on your closet door. That little off the shoulder, rubbing your little tummy. Director Joel Schumacher, who is an openly gay man, said he put it in there because he just had Rob Lowe star in his film St. Elmo's Fire. That sounded like an excuse to me. And I mean, it was like the 80s. Come on. He ain't stupid. He was gonna get that box office. But on top of that, not only is this in a teenage boy's bedroom, this provocative ass poster, but it's on, listen, the poster is on the closet door. The subtext writes itself. I'm sorry. I know the Frog Brothers were in his room at one point, but they weren't even paying attention to that because, you know, the whole vampire thing was happening, right? If Sam had some straight male friends come over, you know, not in the heat of the moment of trying to survive from vampires, and they saw his bedroom, what was he gonna tell them? Yeah, I really like him. He's one of my favorite actors, so I just have him on my, you know, on my closet door. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I said the same thing to my aunt when I was 11 and I had Dave Franco as my iPod lock screen. I see right through that closet. Sam's stud earring, the outfits, the robe, hollering through the house like a diva, making that dynasty reference to Michael. If they made this today, they would have gave Sam a male love interest. He would have fell in love with the vampire, or they would have made one of the Frog Brothers gay and have some weird triangle thing. I don't know. It's been highly theorized by fans that Grandpa was a half vampire and the root beer in his fridge was actually animal blood, which would explain his hobby as a taxidermist. Very gross, but it makes sense to me. There was a lot of chatter about how much Schumacher was very adamant about making this style of vampires cool. Everything was about the heat of this MTV neon aesthetic and having these vampires be young and sexy. The entire obsession and aesthetic of being forever young, I don't think I've ever gotten on board with. Like, I'm sorry, what? Who wants to be immortal immortal. Are you kidding me? If you're young and naive, it seems like a fantasy, some type of teen rebellion, but that's quickly going to turn into existential bleakness. And also, why are we always throwing around the word immortal when you can actually die? Like, I get that calling them immortal is in the sense of you won't die of natural causes, but that's never sat right with me. Even in Twilight, they were getting heads and arms ripped off with all that gray matter since they have no blood, yet we sitting here talking about immortality. I admire this film's aesthetic and its nostalgic factor because I can see it and get it for those who have watched this very young, but it's just not my bag. But to end my thoughts on a positive note, I'll state my favorite thing about this film, which I alluded to, and that's the relationship between the two brothers. When do we ever see not just two siblings, but two brothers be so vulnerable with one another in a film? The scene where Mike's like, come on, Sammy, open the window. It's me, I'm your brother. Like, stop. Focus. I'm fucking cry right now. And how after Michael turns, he tells Star to block him and make sure Sam doesn't see him because he doesn't want to scare him. It's beautiful to see a healthy male relationship like that. Even when at odds, as Sam distances himself from his brother, seeing him change before his eyes, it's never rooted in hatred. It's fear and it's caution, but that love is still buried underneath. Everything about the body language and how Michael nor Sam tease one another in a way that's mean-spirited. It's refreshing. It's refreshing, guys. It makes me wish I had a brother who was close to my age. But yeah, that's all I got to say about this movie. What do you think about The Lost Boys? Do you agree with me or do you disagree with me? Like, sorry, babe, I'm calling this style over substance, but it's just my personal opinion, okay? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give me a like. It helps me out a lot. And if you're new, consider subscribing and turning on that bell notification so you never miss a new video. Remember not to invite anybody in your house and keep a steak nearby. And in the meantime, take care of your mind, take care of your body, and take care of your spirit.